Hi there, YouTube. So we're going to do a quick and dirty investment. Got all the instructions. Got the mise en place. 1 pound of investment powder. 172 milliliters or grams of water. Here's the bit of silver I'm trying to do in a 2.5 by 4 inch, and it's actually going to be almost 5 inch flask. And I'm gonna do that. It's a centrifugal casting flask, and I plan to do it with vacuum. And it's gonna be super quick and dirty and weird because I'm just gonna pull a vacuum on this thing, which has worked really well with these tiny guys with gold and silver. Just they're really small, and they work great. Great casting turnout. Put that hose on the end of this very same vacuum pump. This setup was super inexpensive, and you can see your bubbling. I'm just going to do that in a minute. And this thing, boy, I can't say enough about this thing. As far as it looks, it came with a set of fire gloves, some beautiful tongs, look like they're made of stainless. Whole thing's made of stainless. Set temperature, and then on this side, and then you can program it down here. And massive. Can't lose my tape measure. If it fall down the trash, I'll never find it again. But here's a wax catcher, just amazing bit of stainless steel engineering. It's like super good stuff they've made. And like I said, this drains out into, again, a beautiful little drawer. Everything's welded up, watertight. It looks just, you wouldn't think this is available for about $350. They gave me $50 off for being a previous buyer. It came in 3 days from Fontana, California. This made in China stuff is really stepping up its game. It's as if they've said to the world, we've upped our game, now up yours, It's some pretty impressive stuff. Same with Vivor. I mean, I needed a vacuum pump to use my little tiny vacuum caster for tiny flasks. And it came with this for debubbling epoxy, and it'll definitely debubble casting. So got the whole mise en place going, ready to mix. Okay, good. And like I said, a pound of investment cristobalite wear breathing protection. And what I've done here is put wax channels all around. I press these real good into the stainless. So what I'm hoping that does is there'll be hollow wax channels going all the way down the flask, and all these will meet at the top. And applying suction with that is going to act like one of those bigger, more expensive, more complicated perforated flasks for the vacuum casting. And I'm going to Mickey Mouse it with, so this was hopefully to have a better chance of success by putting half-round wax tubes that are going to burn out. They don't go all the way that way. They stop right at the button. Just an idea I had. It's a waste of wax, but I'll never use all my wax wire that I have, especially half-round 6-gauge. Yeah, probably not going to use that. Haven't used it in years. Don't see it happening. All right, so also another trick I do is I make the water nice and cold, 54 degrees, straight out of the fridge. It's got a little, it's sweating here in the San Diego moisture. Anyway, ready to go. I think I got everything ready. Hopefully I can get this all done within. Still, gotta time it, but it's super flexible when you do really cold water. Then you don't have to do this casting schedule where conventional mixing, vacuum mixing. I don't have that fancy stuff. But you know, you got about a 10 to 12 minute schedule of vacuuming, mixing, vacuuming for 3 minutes. Let's just start a stopwatch, I suppose. Yeah, start a stopwatch. Okay, here we go. All right, so very carefully, not to make too much dust, you pour your investment into the water, all measured on the kitchen scale here. All right, that should be the perfect proportion, 1 pound to 172 milliliters. I don't know why it talks. I can't find even a list that talks in grams of investment. So I have to believe that exactly 16 ounces is 172.5 to 172.5 grams of water, or milliliters of water. Pretty crazy, because you'd think it would be a little bit, let's see how long I've been yapping. Alright. A nice mix going. Says to mix for 3 minutes. I find that the recipe ends up being quite generous. So even though that's probably a total of 2.5 inch by 5 inch flask, I'm trying to be stingy with the investment. It costs quite a bit. But you know what costs even more? Screwing up your casting. Okay. We'll shoot that out in there. And put this in the nice Vivor vacuum machine. Close it and run it. There it is, pulling a nice vacuum. You get to look at the bubbles. Gotta be able to look. So this, in comparison to one of those dome bubbles and the investment table, this is just so inexpensive. And I got this and this for one low price. I can't even remember, but it was really reasonable, from Vivor on Amazon. And yeah, this is, this might take a little longer. The pump's not very powerful. Might take a little longer, and so that's why I always go with very cold water so that the set time, 4 minutes in, doing great. It's starting to bubble, starting to pull a real vacuum. I'm looking for like a kind of a boiling thing. So it's rising. You can see it rise. Getting all the bubbles out. And it rises, boils good. And then it drops. It's already started dropping. You can see it rose up to that line and then drop down. And yeah, I keep forgetting the schedule. I printed it out, but it printed like shit. Anyway, I'm surprised I can't find the investment recipe in grams. Because all I could find was they use metric for the water, milliliters and grams of water, which are the same thing. All right. Okay. And then we're gonna fill the flask and vacuum it. Make sure our model doesn't get any bubbles on it. So, just like you think it's gonna go. Hopefully, I baked enough for everybody. And looking pretty close. I consider this casting a grand experiment, as in can a rather large flask for this tiny thing, vacuuming from only one little side of the flask, do enough vacuuming. That water's still nice and cold. This is where I'm going to splatter my bucket pretty good. Closing and vacuuming. And we're at really great time because plenty of time since we're doing it cold. All right, we'll do it cold. If it does it correctly, it's gonna bubble right out of there. You should have made the tape taller. Let's see. Yep. Pulling a full vacuum. There you go. It's gonna boil again. Essentially what it's doing is boiling at room temperature because you remove the whole atmosphere. Alright, so that's your quick and dirty investment. The next video I'll do the casting. There we go, splashing the investment all over the bucket. Works great for getting bubbles out of epoxy too. If you want to do that, that's really what it's for. Well, it's for whatever it works. If it works for jewelry investment, then so be it. Same thing happens inside one of those expensive acrylic half domes. Get all splattered and you're going to clean it up. Yeah, I'm not sure taller tape would have helped. It's kind of splashing way out of there. Alright. Nine minutes. Time. That's gotta be enough right there. Alright. Now you leave your flask alone till it sets up. There it is. Wow, 16-minute video for this crap. Okay, 10 minutes. Right, a couple minutes ahead of schedule. Next step, let it set for an hour. Pull the bottom of the flask and put it in the oven. Maybe I'll use the programmable section. That is a beautiful kiln. All stainless. 350 bones. They gave me $50 off for being, I don't know where Tool Toss came from, but I love them. All right. There it is, people. See you on the next video. Thanks for watching.